If you like Taste Test and you want to keep the music digestion sessions going every week and get some exclusive bonus content, stick around afterwards for details. But first, let's start the show. Have a taste.
You are now in the zone. The zone with Taste Test Live.
So we're happy to be joined here in Studio 3 with guest Karen Douglas Sadler. Welcome, Karen.
KD.
I'll be referring to you as KD in your bio. For those of you guys who do not know who Karen Douglas Sadler is, I'm going to take a quick moment and read her bio to you. As an independent film professional in New York City for over 20 years, Karen Douglas Sadler produced hundreds of music videos with industry celebrities and worked in broadcast television commercials for Fortune 500 clients. KD Sadler also holds a master's degree in cinema studies from the Tisch School of the Arts, New York University, and also holds a visual arts degree from Concordia University in Montreal, Canada. After moving to Jacksonville, Florida, her focus of work was providing world-class multicultural programs for schools and communities with countless events, workshops, and festivals through her organization, ArtLife Studios. Karen Sadler continues to serve as a community volunteer and has produced 4 years of inclusive filmmaking camps through the World Arts Film Festival with Hollywood film director Joey Travolta for children with autism. Sadler continues to serve as a community volunteer and has produced 4 years of inclusive filmmaking camps with Hollywood film director Joey Travolta for children with autism. Karen also started World Arts Film Festival, which is the signature program of the 501c3 program World Arts Education, an organization that supports diverse and inclusive arts and education programs. KD Sadler has also worked in collaboration with the Office of the President, College of Education, the Department of Exceptional Deaf and Interpreters Education, Student Union, Interfaith Center, and Center for Intercultural Peace at the University of North Florida. Her work has received program funding from community sponsors including the Cultural Council of Greater Jacksonville, the Heal Foundation, MDI Holdings, PGA Tour, the Players Championship, the Community Foundation, Women's Giving Alliance, Girls Inc., and Boys and Girls Club, City Kids Arts Factory, YMCA, Police Athletic League, Duval County Public Schools, Exceptional Education Student Services, Episcopal High School, the Bowl School, City of Atlantic Beach, City of Jacksonville Beach, the City of Jacksonville, and many more. So welcome. With quite a list of accomplishments, it is proud to call you my friend. Welcome to Taste Test Live.
Awesome to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you here.
Damien. Thank you all.
Yes, yeah.
Very long list.
There was a long list. You've done so much in a matter of, according to this, in like a short 20-year span.
Yeah,
what has that ride been like for you?
It's nonstop, like life is. You know, that's how I just keep what's next. You know, that's kind of like how you are, Damien.
Yeah, you just do the work. Yeah, that's what you do. You just keep doing the work, and then eventually you look back and go, "Oh my God, I did all that." Right? Is that how you feel?
I don't even stop to look.
Yeah,
you know,
that's good.
And so that's why that was pretty intense for me. I got to tell you.
It's so funny because normally when we have guests on and I read their bio, they go, I can't believe that I did all that, you know, like when they hear it.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know, you don't sit and read your own bio.
No. And you can barely write it, you know, but like sometimes you have to sit and remember that, you know, you made that happen.
Yeah.
Because you believe in something, you know.
Absolutely.
And because that's what makes it possible. I don't think anyone who is a creator, you know, can create without that mission somewhere, you know, just burning them up. Like, you got it. I got to do this. You
Absolutely.
know? I brought these to keep me like focused, you know. I know none of y'all out there in the podcast world can see this, but we're looking at these beautiful pictures of children enjoying the arts this one's actually at the World Arts Film Festival.
Yes.
And I think you remember this amazing photographer, friend of yours, Damien.
Yeah, Tony Smelachik.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Tony's awesome.
Yeah, that's my friend.
Right? And I look forward to inviting artists always to be part of whatever I'm doing, because that's how we make a community happen. So I'm glad to meet you.
Yeah, Blue Franswa is also a really fantastic photographer. He did my most recent photo shoot, and everybody is like raving. And I'm trying not to like open the floodgates and let everybody see it. They have to go to my website to see all the pictures. But I'm strategically releasing stuff because they're so good. And it was my favorite photo shoot that I've ever done, I have to say.
Yeah.
But Katie, like, let's take a quick moment. I want to tell everybody how we met. I am on a board for Party, Benefit, and Jam. It's a nonprofit organization, and we focus on accentuating other nonprofits through events and doing other event related things. And at the time, there was it's like a pitch called Pachachika. It looks like Pechakucha, but it's called Pachachika, and it's a Japanese word for chit chat. And you were the speaker that year, and this was at Burro Bar before they closed down, which is no longer in Jacksonville. I believe it only was open just so that you can speak and that we can become friends. I'd like to think that. And you were talking about World Arts Film Festival, and I was like, this is pretty interesting. Like, I was sort of intrigued. And then my best friend Michelle was like, you two have to connect. We have to help her. And I'm like, okay. Michelle was like, okay. I'm like, okay. So we ended up helping you that first year.
Yeah.
Amazing. Just watching the transformation. So World Arts Film Festival was held inside the Main Library in downtown Jacksonville.
Oh, wow.
And I literally watched droves and droves of schools from all over the county, even in St. John's and Clay County, the surrounding counties in the area, come in, and these kids were actually having hands-on workshops. They were learning how to do film. They were learning how to do the reels. They were learning the importance of lighting and design, and they actually had hands-on instruction from other filmmakers and other people who actually were in the industry who actually had done film. And just watching them work. And most of these kids, a lot of them have learning disabilities, such as autism or dyslexia or other forms. Some kids were on the autism spectrum. And watching how they interacted and how they felt empowered enough to understand film. But the adult portion in the evening after the program was over, then all these cool films from all over the world were being shown. And you get the chance to see, some films were 5 minutes, some were 30 minutes, some were an hour. And it's like going to the movies. You can kind of pick what movie you want to watch.
How long was this event?
It was great. It was 4 days? Yeah, was it 4 days?
It was 3 days.
3 days. Okay.
But we had a lot of lead ups going on.
Yeah, we did.
It was like all day thing?
It was all day. So that we could encompass all different ages. One of the concepts with that festival was the idea of inclusion is really a global concept. It's not about ability. It's not about age, gender, what country or background you're from. It's about connecting through art. And our medium was film. And at the same time, all the other arts are part of film. So I remember how great it was to have you be part of that, Damien.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, that year for me was huge because Karen, she wanted to add another element, sound, because with film comes sound. And she says, oh my God, Damien, you came to me and you're like, you have to do this, honey.
You're so funny.
So
and he was like, yeah.
And I had been working on, and you'll find videos out there of me on YouTube, and I rarely talk about this, but I've been working on, and I get very fidgety just talking about it because it is my magnum opus, and I realized specifically at that time it was in its infancy stages. I had just finished The New Adventures of Professor Clock, that trilogy. And Karen heard some of it and was like, you have to do this. So I ended up, the library gave me a room, and I turned that room into like a planetarium. And I had the kids come in, they were rotating, they would come in And I showed this video, an educational video called The Known Universe. And I had the kids travel with me. I'm like, you're all in my spaceship. We're going to travel out of the planet. We're going to go out into the solar system, all the way deep into the galaxy. And there's this really great video online that leaves the Himalayas and goes all the way out and then comes back in. And then there was another video of his name is Adam McHose. He is a professor at a college in Pennsylvania, and he heard about what I was doing, and he had heard my music before that, and he was like, I really, really would like to create a video specifically so you can show this at the film festival. So he sent me, using dance, a dancer in a kaleidoscope image. Or kaleidoscope lens, and she's moving her arms, and she's got like 8 arms and doing all this really trippy dance off of my song 5125, which was right before the I created the song right before the 2012, December 21st, 2012 thing that never happened. But I explained it, what it actually meant. But I had a privilege of doing that, and then I played a few of my songs, and I had the kids pick out specific sounds that they heard in the songs. So it was kind of interactive, and 20 minutes at 20-minute groups, and they were coming, and this was an all-day thing. And it was so rewarding. And then the adults would come in the evening, and I would still have the music going, and I'd watch people. Like, one person brought a yoga mat in, and she laid down and she started doing yoga. Another person started meditating. One other person just sat there, and they just sat and just watched. And the kids, they watched the kids move around with these lights, because there was a light trust going and everything. It was interesting to see how people interacted with music in different ways. And some of the observations from some of the kids, I don't know if I had a chance to tell you this, Karen, but some of the kids, a few of them, especially the ones that had autism or learning disabilities, we would always say before they come in the room, is anybody light sensitive? Is anybody sensitive to sound? Because sometimes with us, I can have the volume up really, really loud and be jamming out. For them, it's very irritating. And you have to be mindful of that. So we had a few kids that could not come in the room, but the ones that were there, just watching their experience, it's like surround sound. You understand the importance of sound. You understand the importance of sound and film. And watching a film, we talked about it. Try watching a film without sound. You'll get a completely different perspective. Try watching a scary movie without sound, and you don't get the same emotion. That soundtrack and that score provides that energy to help you.
I think that's really an important piece that you're talking about, because what you're looking at is each one of us individuals have an experience of the world from our senses, and you can approach the arts in that way. How do I see this? How do I feel this? How do I hear it? Like, you can hear what you see.
Absolutely.
We did a project with the Florida School for the Deaf and Blind. And one of the ideas that came out of that was the first experience I had by seeing a photograph that had been taken by a young person who had no sight. But when I looked at the photograph, it was as if I could hear the tree moving. Yeah. And it was out of an incredible class that was being taught by a teacher there at Florida School for the Deaf and Blind, DJ Prater. She's awesome. And what happened out of that was we created a film. We created an opportunity for young filmmakers from Douglas Anderson School of the Arts, young filmmakers, to connect with the young photographers at Florida School for the Deaf and Blind, and that created a whole nother project. In fact, I think WJCT probably has in their archive some footage that was part of a film that they were creating around what we were doing as a festival. I'd like to see that. Yeah, let's hang out. We'll do it. We'll watch. And that experience is a really good example of the kind of work that I really love to do, and that we try to create for the community and for children and really children of all ages. It's how do we layer different kinds of experiences and bring people together? Because for me, the arts is always about connecting. Let's go back a little bit and talk about your love, because I know you love children. Yes, absolutely.
Without question. I know this as knowing you. Why did you get started? Like what was the thing that said, I need to do this? Like you said, that thing that's pushing you in that drive, like, I have to do this. This is my life's work. Wow. What was that thing?
It's as much as I love and connect with children, I love and connect with the artist inside of everyone. Mm-hmm. And for me, if I go all the way back, that was part of my focus when I lived in New York and when I was working in the film industry and developing film directors, and always looking for how do I bring this sort of new young emerging director into their own? How can I support them in finding ways to develop their careers, or even just that thing that I love so much is really talking about art, talking about what you're creating and being part of the process. Yeah. I love process in the arts, So that started me on a path, and I was working with, teens, young college students, and developing into their careers as filmmakers. When I moved to Florida, I had, my children were quite young, and I saw, as I was volunteering in the community, what an opportunity to, as a volunteer, bring the experience that I had in the arts and some of the connections and people that I knew in different parts of the country, and how could I bring all those things together. Yeah. And what I found in moving here was, if I wanted to hear some jazz, I would put together a jazz event. And if I wanted to have arts for the children, well, not just for my children, but let's do something for the whole community, or for their classroom, or for their school, or for all the schools and the beaches. That's how I approached it. Mm-hmm. So
it wasn't necessarily turnkey, because everything was completely an original production.
Exactly. And it still is.
Still is, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. In a sense, that's what I'm hoping that I can share is, for all of us as artists, but I think, when you look at a photograph or that moment before you take that photograph, you're connecting. It's your point of view. It's your creativity that you're about to share. By creating something that will last beyond you in that moment and beyond that moment of creation. And a lot of times we can do that in so many ways. And I guess this is just one of mine.
Yeah, that's well said. Very well said. I love that. Wow. In your perspective of being involved in the art community for so long with children, teens, young adults, have you seen it evolve?
Absolutely, as the children evolve. For me, and it continues from your last question as well, is that what I was finding was that as much as I'd worked with young adults in the past or adult artists, I connected with the children the same way. And just as I connect with children with all different abilities and backgrounds, for me, it's about that inner spirit of creativity. And I think really that's where it all begins. And with all humanity, in a way, we're all evolving, Yeah. And what an amazing thing it is to live within that sort of artistic spirit, or to create that as an energy to, look around at all your friends, Damien, right? I
have some pretty cool friends.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So and from, being here earlier and just seeing, the kinds of wonderful people that you are bringing in and talking to. This is about creating community. Right. So as you do that over here, children are growing over here, and parents are listening over here, and teachers and business people. And, there's so many people who are artists inside and maybe haven't found it yet. Yeah. And these are opportunities.
So I want to say to them, if they're listening, those artists who haven't found it yet, come out and play.
I
we
would
want
love
you to come
it.
out and play.
Come be
Yeah.
part of
Come be a
what
part.
we're doing, because it's really, that's, I guess, the part that I like to play is what is it in you and what you love that you can share, you know, with the community and with children. And we work to support you in that. Like, no one is on their own.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of planning, and we make it look effortless if we can.
Yeah.
But really, no, there's years and years and years of experience that comes, you know, into play when you're putting something together that affects the lives of children in these ways. You know, opening a creative door is a very important thing in my world.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Wow. So recently, you actually went back to school, and I know you were studying really, really hard because you were away and you weren't playing as much.
For fun. I was playing in New York.
Exactly. You weren't playing in Florida.
I wasn't in Florida as much. But, you know, I had lived down the street from NYU during the years that I was producing music videos and commercials, and was so busy doing that I didn't stop to take the time to do that other part of myself that just loves the conversation.
Yeah.
I just love the academic conversation. I will always tell people that for whom that is important, to just find the best places and the best professors or creatives that have gathered together, often in different universities. You're going to look for who you want to learn from, and then just go.
Because they're there.
Be there. Yeah, go be there, because that's the language they speak. You know, other people are creatives where they're making the films. That's the language that they speak. Photographers are making images. That's the language. So look for the language that connects to you and that you can share in, and go be there. So I applied just like everybody.
Yeah.
And I had a window in my world that said, you know, you could go do this. And I applied, and I got accepted, and jumped on a plane and put everything in storage, and I was in the village, and I love it. And it was great.
So you were a real college student.
It was.
Really.
You
Getting the books and everything.
Don't even start this conversation. I can see you going down a road there. But I was definitely right, you know, side by side with everyone else. And, you know, that's just how I am.
But I'm sure during those periods, you know, you have younger college students that are also, this is their first time going to NYU.
Sure.
And they feel like, oh, I'm going here and I'm taking this particular subject matter or this particular class to learn something. But with you being an experienced professional who already had immersed themselves in the work, I'm sure there was moments where you were sharpening them and providing a little bit more insight.
Oh, that's, you know, the person who really provides the most insight is always the professor. And all of us as students, I feel, circle around that, you know, that you take a lot of energy from your professors. But to sort of speak a little bit to what you just said, the funniest thing was having Do the Right Thing be one of the films that we were watching. Yeah. And I'm like, I was at the after party, you know? And so like, that was pretty fun for me, you know, to bring that perspective to some of the films. But my favorite films are often the sort of films, you know, the historical pieces, or I love avant-garde. I love experimental film. I love films with, like you were talking about before, films with no words, you know, like I love animation. I have a lot of different experiences that I could probably share with you another time. But it was quite interesting. And I did love, for me, actually, it was about the perspective of the other students. I was very interested to hear what they're saying, because that was why I had like stopped my life and said, oh, I think I'm going to go sit in a classroom at NYU for a couple of years. But it was like awesome.
Yeah. Okay. That was a good learning experience. So, let's talk about ArtLife.
Okay.
I know you've talked about ArtLife loosely, but specifically, what's the focus these days?
You know, ArtLife was really about creating a space that I felt was needed for the community to have the resource that I could provide from my experience. And that meant that as many children as possible could benefit from doors that I could open from the artist side by being able to bring artists into schools or communities or after school programs. But the person that I wanted to find and support are those busy teachers, the educators, the arts administrators, the PTA chairperson, volunteer. There's so many people who are within the world of the children and their learning that are so, they are carrying so much weight. There's so much administrative work. There's so much, responsibilities, and the day is only so long.
Right.
And more, there's more and more for them to do. And for me, I'm on the outside looking and going, how can I support them to make sure that, in a sense, that their vision for the children is fully realized.
Right.
Especially with the arts, because there is a history of the arts getting put, to the back of the list, that, we don't have enough money, or, we're studying for, testing or whatever. But it's not, I don't let those things stop me.
Right.
And I know that there are arts administrators, if they have the support, then it's part of their vision as well. And we've seen great people lead this community to have more and more arts. We see the arts proliferation in downtown. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. I've been here in the Jacksonville area to be part of it and to watch it and to, just
support it and
see it grow. Yeah. And I love what I see, and I love public art. It's great.
Yeah, Public Art Week's coming up in June.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, some cool stuff I can share. I can't tell you just. I'll tell you off the mic.
Oh, okay.
Some cool stuff that's going to happen.
We love the off the mic conversations. Yeah. But
and if you're listening and you want an off the mic conversation or some coffee with me, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to share.
ArtLife is now and forever for me. I will always find a way to help others. I will always be available if there are teachers or parents or homeschool groups or a special needs community, to bring the experience that I have to support them in having more arts in their community, more arts for more children. It's going to make a difference in this world. Thank you.
That leads me to another question. What do you need from people to help you with your mission to make ArtLife happen?
Oh, I love that. I get really wound up, working to make things happen, always doing. It's wonderful when I find opportunities to be able to share what I'm doing with others. If you want to hear about the arts and I can do something to support you, come and talk with the school, help you advocate for more arts in your community, I'm here for you. Just be in contact. Or if there's anything I can do to support you in something you're doing, I'm here for you. Just contact me. I am just one person, but I am here for everyone. And I think when we all connect, just like we're doing right now, Damien, this is so awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Franswa. So great to meet you today.
Thank you.
And this is how it happens, and this is how it will always happen.
I agree.
It's about people coming together, no matter what is going on in the rest of the world. When you look into the eyes of a child and realize that you, through the arts, because that was my way to find a voice, have made a difference in some way, even if it's just to, have some art supplies there that weren't there before.
Right.
Much less some of the filmmakers showing a film that they've made. These are things that are beyond that moment in time. They sometimes can flip a switch. That's what I can only hope for.
Yeah. Well, I know you've connected me to 2 parts of the world, Canada and Los Angeles.
That's some fun.
Yeah.
That's some off the mic stuff.
That's some off the, yeah. I know.
That's some off the mic
It is.
stuff.
But yeah, she's a connector as well. Blue.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Off the mic stuff. I like that. We should coin that.
off the mic stuff. I like it.
Blue.
I do.
Blue Franswa. Thank you.
So take a moment and tell people how they can find you. Like, give us your URLs.
Oh yeah. So
your websites.
Thank you. The really the best thing for me is just go to one place, artlifeproductions.com. You know, that works. I've had different names and URLs out there over the years. I just kept growing and expanding, but essentially we've now created it so that everything comes back to the one.
Perfect.
And it's the best way to reach me, and like shoot me an email. You know, you'll find my phone number there. It's the core focus. So from there, all things are possible. Thank you.
Yeah.
Please do artlifeproductions.com. And we have a lot of plans for the website right now. Very small, very just, here's the info. But we're growing some ways to share the art that's being created. And so stay tuned.
Okay.
Thank
Looking
you.
forward to it. Yeah. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you.
I know you're very busy, and you took out some time here to talk to us
This is the real.
and share. I'm going to listen to this again because I think you said some really powerful things.
Some gems.
Yeah, definitely. And this was very fruitful for me today. So I needed you're here, and the guests before you helped to kind of like recharge me a little bit.
Yeah.
So thank you.
I agree.
That's why we do it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
right there inside these kids. Thank you.
You're
you.
welcome. Thanks, Karen. If you like what you heard, follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Taste Test Radio.
And head over to www.tastetest.live, where you can find all of our old episodes and hear past guest interviews. Taste Test Live is a fully syndicated podcast and is on every podcast services wherever you listen to your podcast.
That's right. That's our show this week. Special thanks to our guests, Christopher Clark and Karen Douglas Sadler, for joining us in Studio 3 and bringing all of this wonderful love, for the love of the arts.
Yes.
For the love of the arts. For the love.
Oh, and give a
of the
shout out
arts.
to her crystal.
Yeah. And Karen's crystal.
That's what elevated the energy.
It did. No, it really did. And the lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So until next week, guys, we'll be back.
See ya.
Taste Test hasn't launched a full sponsor program. Our podcast is mainly funded by its hosts and listeners like you. If you like Taste Test and want us to keep the music digestion sessions going every week, click the Become a Patron link on our website at www.tastetest.live, and you too can sign up and get some exclusive bonus content, behind the scenes footage, and more supporter only content.